3, 2, 1. Yo, what's poppin'? It says torn.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is. I am the voice of the South, Q Smitty with Polar Joqs. The icebreakers giving you the cool rush. Man, we got a very special topic today.
Yo, what's happening? It's your boy Ace Torn, one half of Polar Joqs. This segment is brought to you by Refresh Clothing. Yep, that's right, man. The #1 clothing store in the city. Now, you looking to get fresh. You trying to get clean. You going to a special type of event. This is a spot you need to come to. Refresh Clothing is real unique. You want to know why it's so unique? Because once you buy an outfit, once you get a fit, you will not see it on 1,000 more people. You the only one that's gonna have that fit, all right? Because when they restock, they don't restock the same type of outfits. It's a different style, it's a different look. That's why you need to pull up on Refresh Clothing. And I'm talking about deals on top of deals, crazy deals. You know the World's Games is coming in June. You're gonna wanna look good. This is a spot you need to come to, man. Refresh Clothing. We'll see you soon. Brought to you by Polar Joqs. Now back.
Before we get into that, man, if you're an icebreaker, you know what to do. Hit that comment down below. Tell us what you think about today's topic. Also, be sure to like and tell other people to become an icebreaker. I want to give a shout out to our followers, healthcare workers, military members.
Yes,
we
sir.
salute the troops. Man, those are just a few of our target audiences that we are talking to today. But today we got a special topic, man. Tell them, Mace.
Yeah, man, we finna get into a little controversy. You know, a lot of things going on in the women's world. And I think the shit it's getting out of hand, bro. You know,
Man, it's going crazy right
it's
now.
kind of getting outrageous, you know. But we're gonna speak on it. So I want to, you know, we want to see what y'all thoughts are on this subject, you know. So everybody knows Sexyy Red, this big, you know, star blowing up, you know,
Major.
changing minds, changing the mindset. Is she changing in the right way? I don't know. Which, you know, I don't know. You know,
Man, Sexyy Red, man, she's been blowing up though. It's like almost every little thing that she does, like just
Every
taking
little
off,
thing,
man.
bro.
She's almost like Ice Spice. You know, Ice Spice
for
got
real.
to that point where like she doesn't even really make any new music,
Nah,
from
not
what I've
for real.
heard.
It's
You
the-
know,
it's just it's really the appearance.
Yeah,
the
man.
appearance is blowing them up. So speaking of Sexyy Red, she got this new luncheon lip gloss line, man, inspired by lyrics from Pound Town that will offer flavors like coochie pink, booty hole brown, sex on my period, gonorrhea,
coochie juice
gonorrhea,
on my period, sex
Nut.
on my period,
and yellow discharge. Man, what the fuck is the world coming to, bro?
nut,
This shit is getting out of hand, man.
man.
What? So, on your thoughts, on your behalf, what do you think about this new lip gloss line that Sexyy Red just dropped, bro?
Okay, so she said I got a lip gloss line dropping soon. Y'all better shop with your girl. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, as far as her image is concerned, it's a perfect marketing scheme. Like, perfect marketing scheme because, you know, she got the whole ratchet,
That's facts.
her cooter pink, her booty hole brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, she out there with it, and she represent for the ratchet girls. But man, it's like, is this really the agenda that we're really promoting amongst our people? Even if she doesn't have somebody behind her telling her, like, yeah, create a lip gloss that's gonna be called gonorrhea nut, because you've been talking about it in your interviews and stuff.
That's a lip gloss, dog.
Go
That's
ahead
the
and
flavor of it.
go ahead and make some yellow lip gloss and call that shit gonorrhea and have everybody walking around with gonorrhea on their
On their
lip.
lips.
You know what I'm saying? Look at a girl, man, be like, hey, what's up, girl? Man, what kind of lip gloss you got on right now? I got on nut. You know?
I got that gonorrhea on.
Now, coochie juice sounds kind of cool. Like, you know,
I got gonorrhea on my lips.
the coochie juice,
This shit is getting crazy, dog.
that one right there, she could have kept that.
The coochie juice?
Yeah, that one actually sounds pretty good.
Pink?
Like, coochie pink, cool. I think coochie pink is cool. The booty hole brown. Now, look, you know,
Shout out, what you got? What you wearing right down your lips? Your shit glossy. Booty hole brown.
booty hole
Man,
brown. She out here eating booty, making niggas doo doo lip gloss on her damn lips. That's what I'm gonna think.
Shawty got boo boo on her lips.
Man, it's just crazy
Boo
though.
boo
Like,
bag.
it's like
Boo boo.
I feel like this type of stuff is cool to have, you know, to laugh at.
Yeah.
For sure, definitely to laugh at. I mean, of course, if it's going to contribute to her bag and everything like that, of course, that means she's winning.
She's definitely gonna get a bag.
That is cool that she's winning. However, I feel like we need a balance, man. We need a more of a balance of like, okay, we can have Sexyy Red, but we also need, you know, I'm not trying to compare anybody to anybody, but I would just have to say like, we need more of a Jill Scott, a Lauryn Hill, of a Floetry. We need somebody to kind of create the balance that we need, you know, because when we had Lil
That
Jon and
real
East Side Boys,
R&B.
Yeah, we had Talib Kweli, we had, you know, Kanye West with the conscious rap as well, you know, but they were existing in the same realm, you know.
Right.
I feel like, you know, if we were to promote something like this to our children, you know, how would that, you know, work? Because you got girls coming up as teenagers, you know what I'm saying? And you got coochie juice, coochie paint.
Now this shit
you
is
know?
in stores too. Like, so you can actually buy these flavors in the stores. That's what's so crazy about it. They allow
Yeah, it's so
this.
free.
So I think like in the industry now, well, it been like this, but I know exactly like far as now they is pushing it extremely harder because they have control over the media. They have control over the society. So if they know they push this narrative, if I keep pushing this narrative, they can continue to get our people to do whatever they want to do.
Right.
They just put a person like, nothing against Sexyy, but they'll put a person like Sexyy in front and use her as the controller to control the whole society, especially speaking on women. She even got dudes singing this shit in the locker room.
Man, it's crazy,
She
man.
got football players singing her song word from word. In the locker
Ski
room.
everywhere you go, man.
Pound Town.
Everywhere
They
you go.
Pound Town in the locker room. Like you know, like it's a whole new time, bro. Like you'll never see that back in early 2000s.
I feel like, man, it's crazy because if we look back in the early 2000s, I don't know if you remember Read a Book. There was a song called Read a Book. And it was like similar to how a lot of artists rap nowadays. Read a book, read a book, read a book. It was one of those simple ass songs that people were like, "What the hell?" And I remember they showed the video. You know, they had those world premiere videos on 106 Park. And I remember after the video finished, Free and AJ looked at each other. It was basically like that was read a book, and they were basically just shaking their head. And the point I'm trying to make is, at that time, we would shake our head to ignorant stuff like that, you know, simple stuff like stuff that would make our culture move backwards instead of moving forward, you know what I'm saying? And nowadays, everything is accepted, you know, there's nothing that's off limits as far as like, oh, let's kind of reiterate how we want to promote that or something like that. Like,
don't put the shit out.
Or don't put the shit out there. Like everything, people... It's a weird juxtaposition because people are highly sensitive nowadays, but at the same time, they're accepting of everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's a weird time to live in, you know?
Because if it's kind of like if you say no, like we ain't, the society, like we can't accept this.
Yeah.
I feel like now, like y'all being judgmental. Like now y'all have to, pretty much everybody got to attack y'all because y'all judging people for being who they are. Nah, it really is not. You know, you really supposed to have people to be like, nah, we can't accept this. We're not going to accept this in the society, or we ain't even accept this in our culture. It's really our culture getting toe out the frame, bro. And just everybody just allowing it. You know, you got even legends just allowing it. Like, ain't too many, you know, can't one person control what goes on and how it's impacted the whole culture. But you do have the ones on the front line that can stand up and say something about it. But it's no one standing up and saying something like, we can't accept this music. Like, nah, we ain't finna go that route. We ain't doing that, man. Like,
as a collective, how can I analyze 2023 black people? I think if we were to look back in the 60s, 70s, you know, we had something to fight for. We had our freedom to fight for. We had our equality to fight for.
Yeah.
You know, fast forward to 2023, we're as free as a, you know, caged bird who was locked away for so many years and finally able to get out and don't have to worry about holding up to certain standards of being equal, because black people, black Americans at least, have way better equal rights now than they did in the 60s and 70s. So what I'm saying is, with them equal rights, man, I feel like it's important. We don't have to just be all about freedom and black pride. You know, we don't have to be about that. But we also got to look at certain things from a certain aspect of like, okay, there's going to be generations after us. How do we want our generations to grow? How do we want, like, what's the narrative for our next children who are going to end up becoming adults, and now the world needs to keep revolving and humans need to keep being on this earth? Like, how do we progress? You know, so now that we got all this freedom, you know what I'm saying?
The thing is, like the lifestyle we living right now,
We're just playing around, you know.
We playing around. We don't deserve this lifestyle. Our ancestors deserve to live like we live in now. They deserve all this freedom, all this opportunity we got right now. Like, to make millions, to do anything you want to do in the world. Like our ancestors in the 60s, 50s, even in the 1900s, bro. Like, they deserve this lifestyle. Like, and I feel like we doing them a disjustice. Like, we really, like, they'll be ashamed of us right now, bro. Like, if they really look at us and see what they is looking at us, but I know they are like ashamed of what we doing.
You don't think they'll be proud that, you know, somebody twerking on a handstand on on an SRT?
They are mad. They are more pissed off than anything. If our ancestors had the opportunity to say something, just say, for example, if they were here and they had an opportunity to get on the totem pole or get up and speak in front of millions of people, they would say they dissatisfied with us, bro. Like, we disappointed them.
Like that Boondocks episode with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he came back.
Them, bro. Like, as a whole, as a collective, not individual, but as a collective of black people, like, we failed them because of the things we're doing and what we represent, bro.
Failed them at what exactly, though?
Simple shit. Like, okay, prime example, bro. Like, okay, with what they pushing drugs, alcohol, and shit, like, on kids, pills. All type of shit, all type of drugs on pills, and the culture is accepting it. What we rapping about, we killing ourselves. Every rap song, every song down there that made is basically talking about killing another black person. All of the songs down there is basically talking about killing each other. So by me saying that, our ancestors is looking at that like, in their mind, like, what the, like, we fought this hard for us to go backwards. Now we talking about killing our own people. Like, we killing ourselves in the music, you know what I'm saying? Just role models, period. You know, so I think that's pretty much where they look at, how they would look at it in a way. Cause like,
I think we as black people don't care about role models anymore. Like, we're our own people. Like, I don't know. I disagree on that. We don't really care about. Well, of course, we look up to role models as on a level of like, okay, yeah, he's a football player, he's a coach, he's, you know, a rap star and stuff like that. But outside of that, who are we looking up to? Because people want to look up. You know, you may have some people who may look up to an engineer here and there, you know, because you want to major in engineering or something like that. You may have somebody who looks up to a nurse because they want to become a nurse and stuff like that. But as a collective, I mean, when it comes to like role models, we look at our own selves as role models as individuals now. Like, we don't really look at things from a togetherness perspective as black people anymore.
Well, I say together, yeah, but role models, you got entrepreneurs out here, different type of entrepreneurs.
You do.
You know, then you got public speakers out here. Then you got people who's inventing things. So, like, say for example, entrepreneur want to be something, they will actually follow the person they're trying to be or trying to do exactly what they're trying to do. So they'll mimic what they're doing to actually become the person or get in the position they in.
But the thing is, why aren't these role models put on a pedestal as a collective? Like, not because that person wants to be whole? Yeah, like, why not because that person wants to become an engineer and they're, you know, giving this person, you know, their recognition and respect because they want to be an engineer and they look up to this person as a role model. But as a collective, why don't we give back or show enough recognition to people who are black people who've invented things in 2023 or entrepreneurs who invented 2023? I think it's because we just don't care about role models. Man. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't care about role models. Part,
like, and I feel what you're saying, but I feel like we do care for what role models. But when we do get in that position, it's like, oh shit, I'm here now. Why I gotta let everybody know that you helped me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool, but they don't need to know that you helped me. Right. They don't need to know that you gave me all this game or I was studying you on the way up. Like, so they get to that point like, shit, I did it all myself. That's where self-made came from. Like, I'm self-made. I did this all by myself. But honestly, them motherfuckers looked up to somebody. They mimicked somebody. They studied somebody's routine, did the same thing a person did. Because it's impossible. It's something you looking at on your path to help you progress. You just ain't goddamn progressing out of thin air. Like, I'm gonna wake up today, I'm gonna do this because I want to do this. Nah, you actually got a plan.
You gotta sit down, think about it. Yeah, like, it's 90% planning, 10% action for real.
Right. And it's somebody out there that you model. It's somebody, you know. It don't have to be 5, 10 people, but I know it's somebody out there that you kind of model or you relate to.
So how do we get everybody on the same page as a positive route?
I say do more of this. Put more people who making an impact in the world. Put them on a platform.
Like Polar Joqs.
Like Polar Joqs. You know what I'm saying? So like basically that's what we designed to do. Like put people like who's actually creating history right now in this very moment.
Right.
The media is not gonna do it.
Right now.
We can't depend on the media to do it. So we gotta depend on platforms like us to do that, you know. So that's basically what it is, man. We gotta grab the people who's making a real impact and making
Right here, man.
and creating millionaires. Like, and podcasts, bro, have created a lot of millionaires. Talk shows have created
Saved a lot of lives.
and saved a lot of lives. So that's prime example. People probably look at us as role models.
Exactly.
You know. So
okay. Yeah.
that's basically like a good example.
I see. So it's not so much more so of like people not looking up to role models. They just got to have a role model to be willing to look up to.
Yeah, they got to have something to follow. Maybe they may not do exactly what they're going to do, but they at least have a blueprint of, okay, I can shred his wave just a little bit, just to help me out to where I know where I'm going. Now I'm get off his way and go do my own thing. And they're just studying the craft. You know, you got to have some type of plan, blueprint. You know, it ain't gonna be perfect. It may not go as you plan, but you got to look at somebody you mimic. Like, for example, $1 million worth of game. I like their moves. Somebody like Wallow. I do shit similar like Wallow in a way. You know, as far as like commercials.
Shoot, hopping out the car in the middle of the rain.
And shit, like, you know, so I used to run up on the cameras and talk, like, you know, since I used to, and I still do similar things as what he do. So I look at his blueprint and I look at the things he did. It may not be the exact same format, but it's on that lane of what he took, you know, because Wallow getting it, bro, like, and and another reason why I'm inspired by him, because this man been out of jail he been out of prison 6 years. He became a multi-millionaire in 4 years.
Right.
That alone, like, you had 20 years up on everybody. You like, everybody had 20 years ahead of you become multi-millionaires or become successful.
But you know, also another reason why that happened is because he has a story. You know, so a lot of people got stories, but they don't really have a story to tell. That can really get them in a position they want to be in. You know, and I think that's the other part. And they're afraid to tell their story because they're afraid they're going to be looked at in a bad light. You know, because of what society has been pushing to us. Like, if you went to an Ivy League school as a black kid or whatever, they may look at you as a nerd right now, compared to somebody who, you know, is selling coochie juice, lip gloss. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got a story. And that's something I fought at too. Like, a lot of people have great testimonies, but they don't speak on it.
They don't speak on it. Yeah, I got a great testimony. I barely speak on it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you really, your testimony, honestly, like, and your gift is the key to make you successful.
Right.
You know, it may not make you millions of dollars next month or, next 2 years, but eventually, like, that shit gonna make you very, very successful because it's you. It's your identity.
And then also, you know, I feel like for me, like, I'm my biggest critic, you know, so it's like, I'm thinking like, damn, do I really want to tell people this? Like, how would they really, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would they perceive this?
And how they look at
you know, would they, you know, accept it for what it is and it'll, you know, increase my presence, or would it be something where it's like, dang, we don't want to see more? Like, as much as we try to say we don't care what people think, we actually do.
We really do, bro.
You know, we're all connected, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, we really do. Like I say that shit a lot too, and in moments I don't, but in some moments I'm like, damn, I kind of do care what they say a little bit.
Yeah, like, I don't want them in my comments like going crazy, like it's a medieval war slicing me up, man.
And then I snap out of it. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck what they say. I'm what I do. But you do have the moments, like I said, we human and we do care what they're going to say and what they think. And in some type of way we do, but it's basically it's that person ability to snap out of it and, you know, change the mindset as quick as possible. Because if you sit on that mindset, you'll never do nothing different. Never do anything different, man. You'll never take no risk. You'll just always be just in one place.
And I think with me getting older, like, I began to realize, like, nothing really appears out of thin air. Like, you really have to do the shit. Like, like, if you want a video out there that you want to go viral or something like that, or if you have some type of dream of putting a business together, like, nothing or nobody would just magically pop up out of thin air like Shang Tsung or some shit and just be like, hey, I got an idea for you. I got something for you. Even with me having, like, the best voice in the world, I still have to promote myself and put myself in a presence position where people can see who I am and know who I am. And, you know, of course that helps out with gaining opportunities, but nobody is like pulling up in an Uber and saying, hey, we're going to Hollywood. Let's go to Disneyland and you can become the next host for Disney World. I mean, I expect something like that to happen soon once we can get in the right, position of opportunities. But of course, what I'm trying to say is like the elements of life are here for us to put our hands on and create. You know, you take some fire, take some water, you know, you can cook some shit with that shit, you know, but you gotta use it in order for anything to happen. And now,
otherwise it'd be pointless.
Yeah, exactly. Now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to really see that, you know.
Yeah, man, making something out of nothing. Honestly, we got something. I ain't gonna say, and that's a kind of trying to change that terminology, making something out of nothing, because we're all born with something. But you got to make something until, you know, build it and mold it, you know. But you the only one that know how to mold this shit, you know.
Got you.
How you think the next 10 years would be if people actually got on the same page?
Man,
Black people.
If black people got on page, you know,
on one page,
10 years from now, I believe we will be doing great. Like, I believe there will be more diversity in society. Well, not just society in the world, but in America at least, you know, at least America. Like, it'll be more of a thing of, I believe 10 years from now, we'll eventually be sort of similar to Africa, where like Africans don't see other black people. They're black, but they don't view each other as black.
Yeah.
I feel like if we can be on the same page, we'll eventually get away from identifying ourselves as black people and just identifying ourselves as intellectual human beings who can be capable of being a doctor, being a lawyer, being something that is controlling the masses from a corporate side to where it changes the environment, because everything is trickling down. The way we move, the way we carry ourselves, the government controls all of this. You know what I'm saying? They're controlling how we move because of inflation. People watching how they spend their money, or, you know, because of, you know, the lack of resources when it comes to jobs. People are starting to become entrepreneurs. So the government controls all this. So we can start getting into a mindset of like promoting good education amongst our people on a consistent basis for 10 years, the same way Nigerians promote education amongst their people, and they come to America and get multiple degrees and buy real estate and do great things. You know what I'm saying?
I always was curious about that. Like,
and that's because they don't look at it as a race thing. They just look at it as a you are a human being. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to progress. You're supposed to become educated.
That, bro. Like, we become like, and it was in college. I'm like, how is all these foreign international people coming to America, buying land, buying corporations, buying buildings, gas stations, and goddamn become multimillionaires in like 3-4 years? I said, how is this shit possible?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and we still like, as a whole, we're like
as Black Americans, we looking at it like, dang, y'all taking off. When we live here, we were born and raised here.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, how is it? Why are we still in the hole? Like, why are we still like shackled?
And you know what's crazy? You know I feel like once we get out the shackle, some people look at us as Black American, especially Black American men, but Black American men and women, people look at us and be like, how did he get out that trap? Yeah. Like, how did he make it out?
We was talking about that last
week. We were talking about that, just having a conversation about it. Racism is everywhere. As much as people talk about the South having racism, I feel like racism is a worldwide thing, just because we're humans. We see something different, we're going to question it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like in America specifically, from my experience, when I go to different cities, and I carry myself a certain way, and people see that I'm different than the norm of what you see for Black American men, they kind of raise their eyebrow in a like, how did he do that? Like, what cheat code did he use? Like who does he know to get in this position? You know what I'm saying? Or what is it about him that makes him so special? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we need to get to a point in time where we don't have to look at life like that in 10 years from now. You know, we need to look at it as like 10 years from now, we have more black men in a position where people may question, you know, how did we get here? But then it becomes more of a trend to the point where people be like, you know what, fuck it, it don't matter how they got here.
It don't matter.
Now this is life. This is who we are. This is where we're at. And, you know, it's better for all of us as a people.
So, question. So, this is the thing as well. I know parenting starts at home. A lot of things starts at home. But do you think schools are helping the students to prepare them for the real world?
I believe so. Going to college helped me in many ways. You know, I think, you know,
in the real world now, because I damn near got bamboozled.
Right. What you mean?
Bamboozled mean, oh shit, gonna be like this when I graduate college, man. I'm gonna be making this type of money. I'm gonna be working here. I'm gonna be around in this.
By 25, I'm gonna have like this in my 401k.
Like after
I'm
I
gonna be
graduate,
good.
Get this degree. This how it's set up. And I ain't had no bad experience after graduation. Thank God. You know, I'm blessed enough I was able to transition right into my field and get a job right after graduation. And that's because I started networking my junior year. But far as like preparing, I don't think they are preparing the students for real world. I think they are preparing the students to get a job, but they're not preparing them like, okay, yes, you need to get a job, but they're not talking about nothing else in school.
They're not doing everything.
They're not talking about financial,
everything that matters.
Yeah, like
you know, financial literacy.
Financial literacy. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about how to properly like set up life insurance. They're not talking about even health insurance. Like it's different things. Like because I waited too long to graduate from college, bro. So
Right. No.
it ain't too long of a stretch.
Man, that's such a deep question, man.
I know. When I was in school, they weren't talking about this shit. They was on one line. They was strictly
here's the
focused on this
thing.
one thing, getting you
Getting that degree.
For somebody, bro.
Not the school system's fault. Somebody's mind can't be diverse with their way of thinking. What I mean by that is the schools, their main goal is like, hey, this degree matters, this diploma matters, and it does matter. You know, on an American capitalistic level, if you want to make it in America on a corporate level, you have to have a diploma, you have to have a degree, you have to have a trade skill, you know, you have to have all of that. But don't let the country or what school systems are trying to teach you be the end all be all. It's up to us as an individual to think like, okay, I can take what they're teaching me and I can apply it to my own life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sort of similar to how we were talking with Gilberto when he was saying how, you know, jobs pay you to learn. Like, and you take what you learn from a job and you go and apply it to your life and apply it to what you do. Like for me, like when I graduated from college, you know, the main thing I would do was, you know, I would apply for different jobs, and a lot of those jobs were either radio or sales, and I ended up getting, you know, a sales job. But the main thing I said at the interview, the guy said, you majored in communications, you went to school for this, you know what I'm saying? Why do you want to be a salesman? Like, and what brings you, what makes you think you can do this job because you don't really have that much experience?
I'm gonna cut you off. That's the thing about it. These motherfuckers, that's what I'm telling you. Corporate ain't that smart.
But see, here's the thing, though. I do want to say this, though. I want to say because I went to school. Because I went to school, you see that I have the degree. You see that I have what it takes to not only communicate, but you also see I have what it takes to learn and apply what I'm learning. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't see that. They just seen that you don't have this type of degree, so you're not fit for this
position.
position.
It's not there. It's not the sales company's fault that they only think in one way. It's their fault as a manager that they only think from a small mind perspective, not realizing that him having a degree means that he's able to apply what he's supposed to learn, and he's capable of having a certain discipline to where it gives progressive and not regressive results. Like this degree shows that he's certified. You know what I'm saying? And that's another way of thinking outside of thinking like, oh dang, like he just got a degree in communication. He don't need to work here.
Yeah, and that's and that's the perfect thing you said, because they don't. And this is the thing too I hate about school, man. Like they don't tell you that you need 4 or 5 years of experience before you get a job. You got to find that out during the damn interview process, the application process. Then they tell you that. Now you done 5, 6, 7 years in college. You done graduated with your degree. Now you get to this job that you want or you interested in. You fill out the application, and not only fill out the application, you may go on an interview, and they tell you you're not qualified because you don't have 3, 4 years experience in this position. Now, what the hell you expect you to do now? Because all the jobs going to say this. Now, what do you think they're going to do now? They're going to keep going to different jobs, but eventually they're going to end up at a restaurant, Walmart. There's nothing wrong with Walmart. Goddamn Little Caesars, Waffle House. And it's a system that is designed to train you to be a robot.
If you're not willing to think outside of
If you're not willing to think outside the robot. But usually 90% of students don't think outside the box. They learn, they listen, they get to the point, they get all this good knowledge, get all these degrees, and they realize like, damn, I need 3 more years experience. Then they realize though.
Can we get mad at school for that though?
No, look, check this out. Then they get mad too now, like,
Yeah.
okay, damn, y'all need 3 years experience. Then they get to the point and like, or you need to get more degrees.
A PhD and all that stuff like that.
You got to get all this degree to even work in the position. It's like, God damn.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's a real setup, bro. Like, if you don't educate yourself beforehand or in school, that's why I say you got to reprogram your mind, man.
But that's the thing. Like, it's not the school's fault that you don't want to reprogram their mind. Because, see, it is the thing. Like, this country was here before us, before we were born, and it has to have a certain type of structure. Like, it can't just be everybody just do what they want to do and move around how they want to move. They had to create school, you know what I'm saying? So your parents can be at work while you're at school, you know, so y'all can have that division amongst your family and stuff. You got to have all this stuff in place to institutionalize you and Americanize you how you're supposed to be. But
this is the thing. Okay, you got, I didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah, right.
So your situation is different. You was homeschooled, so you didn't.
Yeah.
That shit didn't even interfere with. You don't even know that type of lifestyle.
I'm glad you said that.
You was advanced. Probably you had 3, 4 years up on top of a 16-year-old.
Yes.
While you was 10, you had the knowledge of a 16-year-old. You see what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that. More people are going to be homeschooled 10 years from
rough,
now.
Bro.
Like,
schools is rough.
Right now, we're in a transition where people are starting to see this. People are starting to think in a diverse mindset. They're not thinking one way. And schools are starting to see that. So what they're about to start doing is you're going to see more hybrid programs in schools. You're going to see where, okay, Monday we're going to be in class. Tuesday you're going to be working from home. And we're going to be on Zoom, you know, learning this lesson. And then we're just going to, you know, rotate, do that every single week, every single month. And then it's going to become a thing where homeschooling is going to be more powerful because people are going to, because society is going to realize that like the country is going to catch on to the fact that people want to think in a more diverse setting. You know what I'm saying? People are tired of just using this as using school as a way of thinking like this is the only way to become educated. You know what I'm saying? It's going to become more of a thing where homeschool will allow people to like, yeah, I'll learn about Abraham Lincoln, but yeah, let me learn about my people more.
Shit,
you know what I'm saying? Like homeschool gives you that freedom that of diverse thinking.
And that's the great thing about it.
That you want, you know.
Your parents know what goes on.
They know what goes on, but they're also, you know, the thing with me when I was homeschooled, yeah, I learned about, you know, different governments and dictatorship, Saddam Hussein. I learned about all the different stuff that you would learn in school. But also I would learn things from my father who would teach me about Mansa Musa, where I would also do my own research, you know, because I'm just an intuitive person. Like I'll just do my research and go on the computer, spend time on the computer while y'all in school. I'm spending time doing research on different things in life, you know, just exploring. Right. And so it diversified my mind to where I don't really fault school for being the way it is, being structured the way it is because of the fact that I was homeschooled. So that means that I got what y'all got from school, but I was able to get this and get more, you know what I'm saying, out of life at a younger age, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like once we start diversifying our mind, homeschool is going to become more of a behavioral pattern that people gonna go towards.
I feel it, man. I believe it. So, you know, tomorrow the story is.
Moral of the story is stay your ass in school until you figure out what the hell you want to do.
Yeah, tomorrow the story is, man, they are there to do a job that we agree on. School teachers are there to do the job. Professors are there to do the job. Now it's your opportunity, it's your responsibility to reprogram your mind, to listen to what they're saying, but you also have to reprogram your mind for the real world. It's Polar Joqs, man. We in the building, man. We appreciate y'all for locking in. We'll see you next video. And we go.
Let's go.